Coming up on Inside the Summit League, cross country is off and running. A dominant performance by the Bison women in Fargo. In Vermilion, they lost a lot of talent from a year ago, but South Dakota is out to a hot start in volleyball. And Omaha downs Drake in a high-powered Midwest matchup in men's soccer. Hello, welcome to the show. We've got volleyball and women's soccer and cross country and golf all coming up in a little bit, but men's soccer is up first. Denver is really good again. The Pioneers are just outside the national top 10 this week, and it's going to be fun to see if anybody can challenge Denver this year for the Summit League title. I keep thinking maybe Omaha might do it. Here are the Mavericks at home on Friday against Drake with the highlights and the commentary from the guys on campus in Omaha at Mavs All Access.
And we're back at Caniglia Field. Justin Doring along with Owen Godberson, University of Nebraska Omaha Mavericks men's soccer team playing host to Drake Bulldogs. McCain taking possession along the far sideline, kicks it back towards Mark Moulton. And McCain driving, just a little high, and it's going to come out the near sideline. And Levi Kyle.
Oh,
goal for the Mavericks.
There we go. And another quick goal from UNO. What did I tell you? They were going to come out firing right off the bat.
You hit it right on the head there. Fields it into Ming Sunday. Sunday advances the ball towards midfield. Picked up by Fazlo Alahajic.
Shot
goal for the Mavericks.
That's a beautiful finesse shot in from Alahajic. Perfect on the left foot into the far post. That whip was insane.
And
thinking a couple more forwards trying to get a last-minute goal. He just punches it away and saves the follow-up shot. Not a lot of power behind that one.
8 seconds left in the match.
He is not paying attention to the clock at all.
Ball comes in.
Centered. And there's a goal.
3-0 Mavericks.
Beautiful. Hamzat.
Hamzat gets his goal.
He's waiting for his guys. Good for him.
UNO Mavericks collect a 3-0 win over Drake Bulldogs here at Alcanelia Field. The flag running up and down the sideline signaling a UNO victory.
Yes, they are very fun to watch in Omaha. Seth Rinderknecht, Fazlo Alahajic, and Emmanuel Hamzat with the 3 goals in that match for the Mavericks. Omaha follows up that win with a 1-1 draw against Creighton on Monday night. Creighton was number 8 in the national coaches poll at the time. So Omaha now 2-1-1 on the season. The Mavericks have 2 of the 3 players of the week after those 2 matches against Drake and Creighton. Alahajic on offense, second time in his career that he has earned these honors. The senior from St. Louis had 2 goals and 2 assists in those 2 matches. Omaha teammate Joseph Gittes is one of the defensive players of the week. 3rd time for him. Junior keeper from Weston, Florida, got the shutout against Drake and had 5 saves in the tie against Creighton. Denver won twice on the week. They beat Northwestern out of the Big Ten 2-1 and then beat Illinois Chicago 2-1. Both of those on the road for the Pioneers. Courtney Ford scored a goal against UIC, and he led the Denver defense that did not yield a goal and allowed just 3 total shots on goal in those 2 matches. And Denver, as we said, has moved up again this week in the national polls, number 11 in the country in both the coaches and the top drawer rankings right now. Denver is home for a couple of matches this weekend against UC Riverside on Friday and then Bryant on Sunday. Women's soccer coming up next. We will see how the preseason favorites are doing so far. North Dakota State on the road but still at home, taking on the Fighting Hawks at North Dakota.
Inside the Summit League on Midco Sports Network is presented by Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, Dakota Land Honda, and South Dakota Corn.
Welcome back. In Summit League women's soccer, still about 3 weeks until we get into the Summit League schedule. That'll get started at the end of September. In the meantime, everybody's tuning up against Big Sky and Big 12 and Missouri Valley teams and everybody else. Here are North Dakota State, South Dakota State, and Omaha in action over the weekend in women's soccer. The Bison took a short trip north to Grand Forks to take on the University of North Dakota on Friday. Bison strike quick in the 8th minute. Lauren Miller on the corner kick. Holly Enderle with her first goal of the season, and it's 1-0 NDSU. Bison coming again in the 26th minute. Amy Yang and Mariah Haberly with the assists, and Enderle again on the scoring end, and the Bison are up 2-0. NDSU leading 2-1 later in the first half. Haberly and Enderle do it again. A hat trick in less than 33 minutes in the match for Holly Enderle of North Dakota State. Bison get another goal in the first half. Amy Yang on the corner and Natalie Fensky with the header for her first goal of the season. NDSU beats UND 4-1. Let's go to Omaha for the Mavericks hosting Kansas State.
K-State now will take a shot, but right at Bunker, who will grab it out on her knees. Sent back, Deutsch, centering shot deflected away by the Wildcats, but sent back by Bollinger, and it's just wide.
I thought that went in.
Bollinger tries to set it forward, back to the Mavericks. They have it in the penalty box. It's sent back. Michaels, a shot toward the goal. Nice. Leaping stop there by Larkin on the near corner. Here's her kick. Tie into the penalty box, deflected toward the goal. Bunker there to get it. Cook's corner kick. Twisting toward the goal, deflected. No goal. It'll be a foul against the Mavericks. Clear kick. Omaha comes down with it. Romero sends it forward. Meter has it. Meter shot high and over the top of the goal. And Larkin will reset. Further outside, Laramie Hall. Hall battling with Lawler. A shot, centering shot, and it's in. A goal for K-State. Holtman has it. Holtman tries to get it around the defense. She's able to. Cook a shot towards the goal, but it goes wide to the left. And as the clock hits 0, K-State comes away with the victory over the Mavericks.
And in Brookings on Sunday, South Dakota State hosting Creighton. And that flag, I think, qualifies as windy in Brookings for this one as Lang Wiedemeyer and his defending Summer League tournament champions get ready. No scoring in the first half, although Creighton comes close on a doink off the top of the net. South Dakota State scores first early in the second half. Annie Williams on the handle. Cross in front to Jenny Sislow for her first goal of the season. And the Jacks in the lead 1-0. But less than 2 minutes later, Creighton scores and then scores again. They get 2 goals less than a minute apart. And the Blue Jays outshoot the Jackrabbits 16-9. Creighton knocks off South Dakota State 2-1 with that quick 2-goal burst in the second half.
Yeah, it was a physical game, and I thought that we didn't start very well. They kind of took advantage of the wind at their back and created a few chances. I thought we managed it all right. You know, we got out of the half 0-0, started off fantastic, scoring a goal. Jenny Sislow getting her first goal on a header in the first minute of the second half. And we always talk about the first 5 minutes after a goal being really important. And, you know, it's a time where either you can kind of keep going and pressing and making some things happen, or do you let teams back in? And unfortunately, you know, to credit Creighton, they were finding a way to not only score once but twice, you know, in the early on. And I thought we pressed them pretty well. We hit the post twice. You know, we just were kind of unlucky not to find that equalizer.
Well, despite that loss, Jackrabbit goalkeeper Maggie Smither earns Defensive Player of the Week honors. She is a freshman from Lincoln High School in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. She had a stretch of 90 shutout minutes in the Jacks' 2 matches against Creighton and North Dakota. And you saw the performance by Holly Enderle of North Dakota State. She is one of the Offensive Players of the Week. She is a sophomore from Plymouth, Minnesota, gets her first 3 goals of the season, all of those coming in that match against North Dakota. And speaking of hat tricks, Callie-Ann Mogler of Fort Wayne did it against Youngstown State on Friday. 3 goals on 3 shots for Mogler to lead the Mastodons to a 4-3 win over the Penguins. Volleyball coming up next. Highlights from all over the place, including North Dakota State with a fine finish in their final match at the NDSU Classic, and South Dakota with a sweep at home against former Summit League school UMKC. Welcome back. It is still a little early to tell who is going to be really good in volleyball this year in the Summit League, but South Dakota and Oral Roberts and Denver all winning at a high rate in the pre-Summit League season right now. Oral Roberts is 5-2. The Golden Eagles have won 5 matches in a row now. A big contribution from outside hitter Laura Milosh. She is the league's Offensive Player of the Week. This is the 7th time in her career she has earned these honors, and she is just a junior. Milosh leads the league right now in total kills and in kills per set. She averaged 6.36 kills per set in 4 wins last week and added 11 service aces for Oral Roberts. She leads the league in that category too. Ruth Okoye at Denver is the Defensive Player of the Week. Senior from Aurora, Colorado. Leads the league in blocks per set right now. She had a career-high 11 total blocks in Denver's win over top 20-rated Loyola Marymount as Denver outblocked Marymount, Montana State, and Utah State 44-18 in those 3 matches. And here's the rest of the rundown of the week in volleyball. Highlights from Denver and Vermilion and Fargo and Omaha. Start in Denver, where the Pioneers win 2 out of 3 in the Pioneer Classic, and they beat 20th-ranked Loyola Marymount in the tournament opener. Denver comes out, hits 478 in the first set, and then they roll from there. Becca Latham with 10 kills for Denver in the 4-set match. And Ruth Okoye with 9 kills and 11 total blocks, including 2 solos, and Denver wins this one over Loyola Marymount 3-1. Denver comes back on Saturday with a win over Montana State. Okoye again leading the way, 11 kills and just 1 attack error. She hits 588 for the match. Denver hits 402 as a team. Nola Basie with 9 kills, 0 errors, and 25 total attacks for her. And Denver dominates in a sweep of Montana State. North Dakota State got out to a slow start to the season. The Bison lost their first 6 matches, but NDSU gets its first W at home on Saturday against Bradley in the last match of the NDSU Classic. Senior Hadley Steffen with a team-high 10 kills for the Bison. 32 assists for Brianna Rasmussen for NDSU. And she adds 3 kills as well from her setter spot. North Dakota State gets on the winning track, and they get a straight set victory over Bradley. South Dakota lost its first match of the season, but the Coyotes have come back now with 6 wins in a row, and one of those at home this week against Kansas City. Yotes off to a quick start. They hit 400 in the first set. Rachel Schmidt with one of her 9 kills. Brittany Jessen might be the best setter right now in the Summit League. 37 assists, 5 kills, 9 digs in the match for Jessen. And USD freshman Elizabeth Lotion with 11 kills. She hits 427 for the match. And South Dakota keeps rolling, 6th win in a row for the Coyotes. They get this one 3-0 over UMKC. And a busy weekend for Omaha. The Mavs with 4 matches in 2 days at the Omaha Classic. They beat Ball State in 5 sets in the tournament opener. And here again, the match commentary from Mavs All Access.
Set into the air, O'Shaughnessy the set. And on the kill to Mackenzie Horkey. Set over the net by Kitchell. O'Shaughnessy sends it up for Horkey, who slams it down. Step forward, C-man now. The net. We're trying to see the set. And Brown with the kill for the Mavericks. On the serve. Ball stay with it. It's knocked down by the Mavericks. Heavy little serve. Smith sends it up for O'Shaughnessy. Set and the kill by Ellie Brown. Jensen serve. Smith sends it forward. O'Shaughnessy set to Conley on the attack. And she gets the kill. Dug out by Ashley Smith. Set by O'Shaughnessy. The attack by Torsen. Down for the kill, or on the...
Omaha goes 2-2 on the weekend. They get a win over Abilene Christian on Friday, but losses to Drake and Kansas City on Saturday. Cross country coming up next. Good start to the season for the men at IUPUI and North Dakota State's women with the 5 fecta at the Bison Open. Welcome back. Summer League cross country teams getting out and getting at it over the weekend. Western Illinois hosted the Early Bird Invitational, and Fort Wayne and Western Illinois finished first and second in the women's competition there. IPFW and Western finished second and third on the men's side at Western Illinois. Elsewhere, North Dakota State hosting the Bison Open, and they run it at Rose Creek Golf Course on a beautiful late summer Friday in Fargo, North Dakota. It is the Bison and South Dakota State and the University of North Dakota all running, keeping score in a double duel format. South Dakota State should be good again. The Jackrabbits earned 3 of the top 5 spots on the men's side. Brendan Sage and Micah Mather finished first and second. SDSU just gets by NDSU in their dual matchup, 26-29. North Dakota State's Evan Kotzik, a redshirt freshman from Fargo, leads NDSU with a third-place finish in his college debut. In the women's competition, a strong showing by North Dakota State, to say the least. The Bison with an outstanding performance, their first outing of the season. NDSU has Brittany Brownotter. She is a sophomore from Bismarck, North Dakota. She was third in the Summer League Championships last year, and she gets out in front from the get-go in this race. She would stay in the lead the entire way. North Dakota State pulls off the perfect performance. Bison runners finish 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Got Taylor Jansen in second, Kayla Hunter-Cook in third, Jenny Giebert and Annika Rotvold in the top 5 for North Dakota State. Brittany Brownotter wins it, and she is the Summer League Cross Country Athlete of the Week. Her time in the Bison Open, 14 minutes, 38 seconds on the 2.5-mile course, and this is the second win of her college career. Meanwhile, Robert Murphy is the Men's Athlete of the Week, senior from IUPUI. He is a Summer League indoor and outdoor track champion, and he also finished 5th in last year's Summer League Cross Country Championships. Murphy wins the Butler Opener this year. It's his first career victory in cross country, and he does it in a time of 18:22 on the 6K course. And as a team, IUPUI edges Butler by a score of 25-30, and Coach Keppen says that is a pretty decent start to the season.
It turned out being quite a dual meet, and our guys were a little surprised. I know Robert was expecting a pretty easy race, so I think he kind of stayed in the race and in contention, and then finally that last maybe mile or so he kind of pulled it out, and that helped a lot.
Well, Murphy and the Jaguars are back at it next week on September 16th. They'll be in Bloomington, Indiana at the Indiana Intercollegiates, which features more than 25 cross-country programs from the state of Indiana. Oh, we've got a little golf when we come back. Several Summer League teams at the Omaha Invitational over the weekend, and more on the Denver volleyball team and their coaching connections to Team USA.
Inside the Summit League on Midco Sports Network is presented by Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, Dakota Land Honda, and South Dakota Corn.
Summit League golf teams play their league championship tournament in the spring. They'll do that in April, but everybody gets in some work at this time of the year with tournaments in September and October. And 5 of the league's women's teams got together in Nebraska City, Nebraska on Saturday and Sunday for the UNO Invitational. They played 3 rounds in 2 days. South Dakota State wins the 8-team tournament, 25 shots clear of North Dakota State, with South Dakota in 3rd on the women's side, IUPUI 6th, Omaha 7th. North Dakota State's Natalie Roth is the medalist, even over 3 rounds, including a 4-under par 68 in her second round. And South Dakota State's Megan Mingo finishes 1 shot back. She carded a 2-under 70 in the final round. Meanwhile, the Coyotes win the men's competition. South Dakota with a 7-shot victory. USD's Matt Tolan, the only guy to finish better than par. He is at 3 under. He shoots 67 and 69 in his last 2 rounds. And his teammate Cody Seal finishes in a tie for 2nd place. And finally, we had a story last week on the Denver women's volleyball team working out in Colorado Springs at the U.S. Olympic Training Center. This week, more on how the Pioneers are lucky to have several coaching connections to Team USA.
Yeah, So I've coached the USA program for 13 years.
So I started with USA Volleyball about 3 years ago.
So I've been involved with the USA High Performance program for the last 5 years.
Any collegiate athletic program would be lucky to have a single coach on their staff with some experience at the U.S. national team level. Believe it or not, Denver Volleyball has 3 coaches on their staff with USA connections and over 20 years of combined coaching experience at that level.
But it's what sets our program apart. You know, I have a staff that is completely involved in USA, and we learn a lot. We go to the national team gym in Anaheim. We learn from their coaching staff. We learn from our experiences.
So our offense, our defense, we run a very similar system to what the USA women's national team runs, and that's a product of all 3 of us working in the USA system. So we provide a really unique experience for our players here, and also connections wise, so they want to play after college. We have a lot of international connections.
Not only does their experience benefit the DU players, but also it helps each coach develop their own ability to instruct players and answer questions.
I think there's a lot of respect and a lot of trust among the staff, and that's something that I absolutely love. And I know I can go up to anybody on the staff at any time and ask them a question and really hear just this awesome, well thought out, detailed response.
For us to have an entire staff filled with people with international experience is really unique, and it helps prepare our players and gives them the best opportunity to achieve their goals and dreams.
Well, Tom Hogan is in his first year as the Denver head coach this year. He has been an assistant and an associate head coach in some capacity there since 2012. Hogan was an assistant coach for the U.S. Olympic team in 2008 when the U.S. won a silver medal in the games in Beijing. And his team is out in New York this weekend. The Pioneers play 3 matches in a tournament at Long Island University in Brooklyn. And we'll see you next week on Inside the Summer League.